All right. Hey, everybody. We're going to get started with the video. Then we'll open up with our welcome and a little bit of housekeeping to let you guys know what the plan is today and who all is here with us. Thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys enjoy this program. This is for the gamers and content creators. We're going to enter a creative space called Game Changers. All right. Just a moment. We'll get it all dialed in ahead of time. There we go. All right. Oh, wow. I don't know where it went. There it is. Okay. All right. We'll get this going right now. Thank you for you guys' patience.
And this and that. So hey, we need to create a crew, and I can get you guys editing some of my footage.
Yes. So these are just a couple slides to let you guys know who we are. The Game Changers are working together to create a welcoming space for the gaming community, for young people to come create and learn about creating. We've, young people teaming up with mentors and artists from the area to learn about skills that they can use to build their channels. And you can contact us at gamechangers530 Gmail, or pretty soon we're going to have everything up from our Instagram and all of our social media to our Game Changers YouTube, but we're waiting for a big launch. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm gonna pull up a slideshow real quick just so I have it in the background. How's everybody doing today? Even if I could just get a peace sign real quick from everybody. You guys enjoy that little video? I'll tell you guys a little secret. I was up till like 5 last night finishing it up and making sure it was ready for today. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. It's just part of the nature of this thing. You know, we're talking about content creation today, and you know, editing is a huge part of that. So that's one of the things we do at Game Changers is teach young people how to edit and get their videos ready, how they want them to look. And yeah, let's get into it. All right. So I'm going to pull up a slideshow real quick, and then we're going to introduce the Game Changers. Can I get, let's see, let's start with Ku actually, if I can. He's going to tell us about what it means to be a game changer. In fact, let me stop sharing screen before I do that. Get this ready. All right. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm doing 5 things from one computer today, so please bear with me. All right, so sharing the screen. There we go. All right, and actually, I will leave the agenda up because I think it helps for everybody that might want to kind of see what we're going to get into today. But before I introduce Ku to share what a game changer is, my apologies. I just remembered I said I would do some housekeeping. So first, I just want to welcome everybody to the Raising Placer Youth Leadership Retreat first virtual session called Game Changers. You guys, if you don't know, you're rocking with the Auburn Hip Hop Congress right now. We're big in our community, and I hope some of you guys already know who we are, but we're excited to kind of tell you a little bit more about both Auburn Hip Hop Congress and Game Changers as we get into some content creation today. But yeah, definitely want to thank Callie, the Coalition for Auburn and Lincoln Youth, for putting this all together and making this happen. I want to thank everybody on the Auburn Hip Hop Congress team and everybody that's doing stuff in the background right now. It took a lot of work to make these things happen, and it's just been a beautiful experience already at the first in-person day and now moving into the virtual sessions. So thank you all for being here. And this is going to be kind of a participatory thing. So I want to make sure you guys are all comfortable with that and let you guys just know ahead of time, we're going to be asking you guys some questions. And we hope you guys feel comfortable to share your thoughts and your ideas. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else? Did I miss anything, Shelly? No? Okay. So sometimes I'm going to ask for the thumbs up and sometimes I'll ask for a peace sign or something, but just so you guys know, that way we don't have to keep unmuting and stuff. But when we do have the discussion, I do want you guys to unmute and jump in where you feel comfortable. All right. We'll just ask that everybody kind of be conscious. We've been on Zoom for a year. We know it's not the funnest thing, but we've kind of learned where to, pick our moments. So try not to talk over somebody if they're already talking. Try not to interrupt unless it's absolutely necessary, and just be aware of like talking to the side. Be sure you mute your microphones if anything's going on, any loud noises or anything. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys. Again, my name is Rocky Zapata. I'm part of the Auburn Hip Hop Congress. I'm so excited to be here and for our lesson today or for our session. And without further ado, here's Courage.
What's up, everybody? My name is Christian Kudo. Some of you guys know me as Courage, and I am a game changer. So I looked up the definition of game changer, and I wanted to share it with you. A game changer is an event, idea, or procedure that affects a significant shift in the current manner of doing or thinking about somebody. A game changer is an individual or company that significantly alters the way things are done as a whole. Game-changing individuals often use their personality traits and attitude to spark change. Game changers are leaders, and we think outside of the box. We're constantly pushing ourselves to evolve, to learn, and to grow, and to take everything that we do to another level. We do that to affect all those around us and all the things that are important in our families, with our friends, and in our community. So without further ado, thank you for joining. I am Courage, and I'm a game changer.
Yeah, so now we're gonna meet a little bit of the team. I'm gonna have each of our participants and each of our members kind of step up and share what it means to them to be a game changer, why they're excited to be part of this team, kind of what they're learning and what they're excited or what their goals are. So without further ado, I think we will start with Dylan. Coming from the gaming seat, he's gonna join us here so that we can hear.
All right. So I'm Dylan, and part of the Game Changers. So what it feels to me to be a game changer is like I've been picked out of a group of people and a lot of people to be a part of something and to really change people's looks on streaming and other things, and to make you guys feel more comfortable about that.
Yeah, what's one of your big goals?
My big goals,
Yeah.
to get a high viewer count probably, and get a couple of fans probably.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, so I should have told you guys too, we've only been coming together for about a month now, a little over a month, and already these guys are just killing it. I mean, we've gotten into starting to talk about designing our channels, brainstorms. They've even learned how to film and come out and done a film crew for the first Raising Placer Leadership Retreat event. A lot of you guys might have seen them out there with the cameras, learning. Honestly, we had all learned, but that was their first time in action. So they got to train on the fly and they just did an incredible job. And each of these things is a part of what goes into content creation. So filming all the way to the editing, all the way to the uploading and the marketing. We're going to talk a little bit about all of that today. But next, I'd like to call up Liam and hear a little bit about why he's excited to be a game changer and what one of his big goals is around content creation.
All right, do I also have to do the game changers thing as well? All right, my name is Liam Butterfield. Man, stage fright's already kicking in. That's fine though. Anyways, one of the main reasons I'm very excited for a lot of the game changer stuff is being someone who's played video games essentially all my life, from the Nintendo 64 all the way now with PC gaming. It's kind of always been a very significant part of my life. And ever since I first heard about a lot of the things with the YouTube partnership stuff, and even just right down to the fact that people could gain a massive following like that over something that has been significant to my life for so long, it was always really exciting to be able to hear about all that and learn more about it. And this is giving me the chance for a lot of it, like learning things such as recording softwares like OBS or StreamYard as well. And not to mention just even being able to figure out stuff like learning the algorithm and whatnot, and just being able to kind of essentially get kind of a foothold there, to even just have my stuff get seen.
Yeah. Thank you, Liam. We got a really dope Game Changers crew, and I know we could spend this whole time, so we'll try to breeze through it a little fast if we may. But I know we got a couple of our team members on Zoom with us as well. Mason and Milo and Matt, are you all there? And Noah and Courtney. All right, let's see. Let's have Milo and Matt go first if they're ready.
Wait, it cut off. Are you talking to us or someone else?
Yeah, it's okay. We deal with Zoom all the time. I think everybody's flexible. But yeah, Milo and Matt, if you just want to share why you're excited to be a part of this team and what one of your goals is as a content creator.
What I'm excited for is to just learn some new skills that I didn't know about before. I'm not super into technology, but I am really excited to learn just some new things, some new skills. And my goal as a content creator, I guess, is to just have fun with others, have a following, and just I don't know, just have fun, I guess.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Milo. How about you, Matt? You there?
Yep, it's me. All right.
What's good?
this game changer thing's a pretty new thing for myself, and I'm excited to just get a new community with people who also are similar interests as myself, such as games and other stuff. And I'm excited, to learn a bunch of new stuff with like cameras and all that stuff. Maybe learn some new stuff from other people about their interests and stuff they want to do with their goals. My personal goal is just to get myself some new friends and all that, and maybe help some people out with games and stuff, and help other people feel welcomed into a community.
Dope. Yes. Great answers. Thank you guys. Thank you both. All right. So who else we got? We got Mason and we got Noah. How about Mason?
I'd say my goal with Game Changers is just to definitely build skills that I didn't have before, like as a content creator, and use my skills to better myself in my life and in the future, and just kind of have fun with it.
Yeah. Awesome, Mason. Love having you on the team. And how about you, Noah?
Well, in essence, what it means to truly, I'm Noah, by the way. What it truly means is to spark change with your attitude and your personality. And the gaming community in a whole is horribly toxic and unfriendly, and that's why with all of us who all have similar interests, and we can put aside our differences to slowly build a fun and more enjoyable community, which should hopefully spark change in the entire thing as a whole.
Yes. Awesome, Noah. Great answer. So you guys have now gotten to meet a little bit of the team. I'll quickly this has been up the whole time, the slide. So has everybody gotten a chance to see it? Kind of see what we're going to get into today? We've gotten through the introductions and who we are. I'd like to also speak in a second to consuming versus creating. Previously, a lot of us were entirely consuming, right? I think a lot of us in society we gain interest and we get started through just consuming, but it can be hours and hours, and a lot of that time we realize can be used another way, and to create and to build skills and to build community, so we're going to talk about that some. We're also going to cover some internet safety tips and things you can do to prevent trolls and bullying, and just those little tips that might help you along the way with being on stage. We heard Liam say, it's always hard stepping up in front of a camera and in front of a new audience, right? But that's what content creation is about. So the more we can do that, the more we can practice and be uncomfortable, the more it's going to be natural, and we're going to be able to get to the work and get to what we want to get to. You know what I mean? So with that, we're going to also talk about, we're going to have a little discussion, a little digital brainstorm about just certain things that might help you jog some thoughts about your channel or your content creation. And then we're going to get into some artist spotlights. We have some amazing team members, and I want to show you more of their work and what they do, and have them inspire you and share some of their advice. And of course, we're big on DIY. So we're going to be talking a lot about doing it yourself and the tools that you guys have already. And then we're going to jump into a quick group activity where I show you all Canva. If you guys aren't on Canva yet, I want to show you the possibilities and how much that could help you with your content and creating your channel. And then we got a bunch more tips and tools and things like that to cover, but we'll see what we can get to today. We realize we have an hour and a half to cover content creation, streaming, YouTube, Twitch, and there's just no way we could cover everything that we want to. So we have a lot of slides and different things that we could pull up as we go that just have little tips and advice, little things that we think are important. But unfortunately, we're not going to have time to have discussion about all of them. But I do invite you guys, all of you, to stay in contact with us. And that way we can be a resource to you as we're learning we're learning how to build our channels, and we're really studying and working together to try to accelerate that and make all the possibilities, open up that we can. So with that, we're excited to share that with all of you and everything we learn along the way. And just know that any way we can be a resource to anybody who's watching, we would love that, and we would love to stay connected. We're even going to possibly host some contests and some cool things come the following school year. We've been kind of planning all that as well. But jumping in now, let's look at the first slide. I want to ask you all a question, and we only have time for a few answers, but maybe just throw your hand up and I'll call on the first ones I see. How many of you have thought about being a gamer or a YouTuber or just starting a channel? Awesome. I see Winston. Who else? Awesome. Well, with that, I want to know what kind of videos? What are you interested in? Can you guys pop in a couple answers? Is anybody interested in just starting a gaming channel of their own? Is that why you're here? Do you skateboard or have an interest like sports or cooking, makeup or mechanics or whatever? You know, what's your guys' ideas for content creation? And feel free to jump in. Also, the Game Changers crew. This is nothing's off the table.
There's answering in the chat.
Oh, people are answering in the chat. Thank you. So let's see. Hudson said, I already started a gaming channel. Okay, dope. I'm excited to get to know about your channel. We'll definitely subscribe and check you out. And then let's stay connected to see how we can build together. Maybe we can learn from each other because each of us brings a unique skill to the table. None of us knows everything, but together we have a powerful team, from audio to visuals to creation and creativity to gaming, you know, and I really believe that it takes the team to be able to accomplish some of these things that we set out to, because there's a lot of work that goes into content creation. I'm sure Hudson realized that, or Winston, sorry. Was it Hudson? Yeah, it was Hudson. Sorry. I'm sure Hudson realizes already how much goes into starting a channel and all the things you have to learn. Winston said promoting videos. Awesome. Okay, and Winston started an education channel. Awesome. If I missed anybody, I'm having a hard time scrolling on my iPad. Please feel free to read them out if you see them, or call it out if it was you. But I'm gonna jump back in now. So awesome, I appreciate you guys sharing a little bit about that. One thing is we always wanna just leave tips and ideas. And one of the things we talked about is really bringing your own interest in yourself to the table. So even if you're doing a gaming channel, or even if you're building a YouTube or a podcast, really think about the things that interest you. What can you talk about for hours? You know, what can you, sorry, I went a little too far there. What interests you enough to really just speak to for hours and be on camera about talking about? You know, you really have to think about that, because sometimes, you know, if we don't have a plan, or if we're not excited about it, how do we expect our audience to be excited, you know? All right, and then I think this is a good opportunity to bring Courtney on, and I think Joe's gonna come up after her to share a little bit of safety tips and just things you can do if you're getting started. I know a few of you have already started already, so maybe this is a brush up, but I really do think it's important that we know kind of the legalities and just kind of what are the best practices to keep safe and to protect yourself, protect your privacy and things like that. So I'm gonna have Courtney come on now and maybe share a few words, and then Joe's gonna tell us his story.
Hi, everybody. I'm Courtney. I think I got missed in the introductions. I'm actually a co-creator of Game Changers. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about internet safety. And, when I was researching this, I really kind of started thinking, I feel like you guys probably have so many things, just kind of thrown at you in regards to internet safety. And I know, my kids often will tell me that they know more than I do, which is probably accurate. I'm trying to go through the chat and see if I could see any of your all's faces. Yes, exactly. So I didn't want to come on and feel like I was preaching at you guys. I wanted to talk to you about it in a real way. And, and it's a limited time, like Rocky said, we could have entire conferences just on internet safety alone. So, we only have a few minutes, but I just wanted to kind of hit on sort of three main points, and those being safety, mental health, and addiction. The safety aspect of it, I think most of you all are teens, so you all probably live a lot of your life, especially the last 2 years, in the digital landscape, right? Do most of you all feel that way? Yeah, I'm seeing lots of nods. So, I think that there is a lot of common sense that has to go with that. Yep, Caleb says yep. As far as protecting your personal info, being aware of catfishing, things like that. And even though I know that you all probably know a lot more than your parents when it comes to, the internet in general, I do think it is important, and this is the only time I will preach this, that you do need to have an ongoing dialogue with them in regards to if you want to start something beyond going from consuming to creation. You know, my son Noah is an actor and I'm an actor. We have our backgrounds in content creation. And one of the things that made me feel better as a parent about how much time he was spending online was knowing that he wanted to become a creator because of I know all how valuable the skills are with learning how to do content creation, because I work in that industry and I know that it can lead to, you know, viable income. And I know a lot of you probably want to start channels because it's fun, but it would be nice if you made money eventually, right? Yeah, if you were able to in some way. So, you know, if you are going to be able to have a channel to get to that point, you know, you're going to have to talk to your parents about getting a bank account set up, things like that. So it is important for, you know, you all to have them be a part of the conversation. And especially with platforms like YouTube and Twitch, you have to be 13 to have, you know, have an account essentially. So, you know, that's the basics, you know, with safety. And like I said, we could go much further into that, but, you know, we know not to, you know, give out your personal information, that kind of thing. You know, as regards to what I think the most important thing is with your mental health. I think that it is sort of a double-edged sword with, you know, the online platforms. I think that if we hadn't had it over this pandemic, I mean, where would we be, right? I mean, it's our lifeline. I mean, how many of you feel like the majority of your friendships are online? See, I'm trying to get to where I can see all of you guys on the channel at once. I'm like scrolling to see everybody. But most of you feel like, especially the last 2 years, the majority of your friendships exist and live online, right? So, you know, that's an amazing thing. It's an amazing connection, but it also can create vulnerability too, because if we, you know, if somebody says something that hurts our feelings, or if we feel bullied or, you know, hurt in that way, it can be really, really devastating. And a lot of times it's really, really easy to misread something that someone says because we don't have sort of the context of body language and tone and things like that to go along with it. So, you know, I think the biggest points there, and, you know, this is an ongoing conversation that we have with all the game changers too, is about sort of having the right perspective. And, you know, something that's been really helpful for me, and in particular with my kids when they've been bullied in the past, because it's a when, not an if, unfortunately, it's just going to happen, is curating your space. And that essentially means being very intentional about our online world and who we let in it, making sure that if, you know, something is distressing you, that you know, you get rid of it, and realizing that you're the person in the driver's seat, that you're the one who has control over what your space is, and, you know, who views yours too. You know, so that kind of goes back to also, you know, with your personal info and stuff like that. You know, I know a lot of you have Finstas and things where you have, you know, sort of like your throwaway accounts, and, you know, the ones that you let your parents see and the ones you think we don't know about, but we probably really actually do. But, you know, make sure that you are very intentional and specific about your public space versus your private space when you are posting things online. So, you know, I think we all know and realize that anything you put online at some point can be vulnerable and can be found, but that doesn't mean that we can't take some common sense precautions and do the best we can to, you know, keep information that should be private. You know, you guys have a lot on your shoulders, and, you know, when, you know, Rocky and Natalie and all of us and all your parents were young, we didn't have to worry about every mistake we were ever going to make being online for every future love interest, employer, what have you, you know, could possibly see. Like, that's a lot of pressure, and I do not envy you that. And I hate the fact that you guys have to think about it, but unfortunately it is something that you do have to think about. So, you know, just be conscientious of that, and, you know, think when you are posting something, okay, you know, I'm not going to be the person that's going to tell you, you know, don't go online, that's the only answer, because that's not realistic. That's not the world we live in. You guys absolutely should have a space that you create for yourself where you can be yourself with your friends. So create that space. Just be conscientious about keeping that space separate from your public space when, you know, when you are applying for a job, you know, 10 years from now, and your employer goes online, you know, they don't probably need to see, you know, something you were up to when you were 16, perhaps. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just something to be conscientious about. And the other thing to talk about too is the last one is addiction. And, I think that that's something where, once again, you just have to use your common sense with that. I think most of us probably the first thing you do when you wake up is look at your phone, right? Is it the first thing you do when you wake up and the last thing that you do before you go to bed? I'm guilty of that. I think I read some statistic when I was researching this that was saying that it was like 57% of kids, feel like they're addicted to their phone. So, I think the thing that's important with that is to take regular, first thing I do, Scott says, every day, last thing. It's true, it is. And, once again, I think we have to have a practical viewpoint about it. Sometimes I'll hear other parents say, oh, well, I just don't let my kids go on social media. And of course, that's everyone's own personal parenting choice. But for me, I feel like I would rather, arm my kids with how to handle a situation from the get-go than just, keep them away from it. Because then once you're in it, you don't know how to handle it. So, in regards with the addiction, I think a detox is really good. I think that once again, it's about having conscientiousness towards your experience. So carve out certain times of the day where you are screen free. Make sure that the time that you're on there, it's intentional. I know for me, if I get on a Pinterest or an Instagram scroll, I can look up and it'll be 2 hours later and that time will just disappear. And I'm sure that's happened to all of you, right? The time just, and I have to be really, really careful with my time management. And I will literally set a little timer for myself, like, okay, like this is my scroll time, because I do need that. Sometimes that's how I relax and unwind. I think we all use it that way. So, in regards to, main points, safety, mental health, addiction, I think, it's all for the most part, common sense things that I think you guys all know. It's just actually putting it into practice. And I think it's important that you guys talk to each other about it. I was so impressed last year when I heard my daughter talking about with her friends. They were all getting each other's consent before they posted a picture of them online. They had all gone to the mall and it was a group picture. And, I'd always joked with her. I'm like, that's how you can tell somebody really likes you. If they post a picture where you look bad and they look good, they're not really your friend. And, that's actually a thing. And, she said that all of them talk to each other and make sure that they have each other's permission before they even post just a regular candid snap. And I thought that was really great and something that, I, as an adult, took a lesson from. And, I think that you guys are really way ahead of us in a lot of ways when it comes to those things. And, I think just, keep doing what you're doing and don't be afraid to reach out if you all have questions, or, if you do have a situation where you feel like it's bigger than you can handle or it's distressing to you in some way, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. And, if it isn't a parent, reach out to a trusted friend. And, we're here for you at Game Changers too. So thanks.
Courtney, that was incredible. I know there's so much to cover and we had her take on that area, but I really think you did a great job of kind of covering the 3 important keys. And just to kind of reiterate a couple things, she spoke to something that I think is really big with the Game Changers, and that's building community within the gaming community. So we at Auburn Hip Hop Congress, we do that here in person. We build community within our community, a place that people can go, learn, trust, be themselves, and try new things and kind of tap into some amazing people and resources and stuff, right? So that's what we're trying to do with Game Changers too, is create a community that we can all rely on, somewhere safe, but also fun and healthy and tapped into all of our interests and focused on creating, not just consuming. You know what I mean? But I'd like to pull Joe up now to kind of share a little bit, kind of briefly about his story with online bullying and trolling and some of his resilience and tools that he uses.
All right, what's going on, y'all? Good to see you guys. I'm happy to be a part of this. So a little bit of my journey with online bullying and trolls in general when it comes to streaming or content creation. Obviously, you're going to have that audience, you know what I mean, that's going to love what you're doing. They're going to be a fan of what you're putting out and the things that you're creating. And then there's that other side where people aren't going to enjoy it and they're going to let it be known and they're going to try to let their voice be heard. One thing that I experienced myself, I was streaming on Twitch. I was playing a game, and one of the people in the chat room on Twitch, I'm sure if you guys have been on Twitch before, you know what I'm talking about, people talking in the chat and stuff like that. Someone was trying to post a link to an inappropriate picture, and I didn't see it. I didn't look at it because I was focused on what I was doing at the time. And I have on Twitch what's called moderators, and they help monitor the chat to make sure people are following the rules of the chat. You know, they're being appropriate, they're not arguing with each other, they're not saying insulting things about me while I'm streaming. And so they have the power to remove people's comments in the chat. And so one of my moderators in the chat tried to troll me and post an inappropriate picture and told me he was working on his photography skills and he wanted me to check out his picture to see, like, to get my opinion on it. And so one of my moderators ended up clicking on the link. They saw what he was trying to send me and they removed it. And they posted a comment in the chat saying, don't worry about what this guy is trying to send you. It's not appropriate. Just take our word for it. And I said, okay. So I like what Courtney said when it came to surrounding yourself with a group of friends that support you. They can also be your team. They can be your backup in case, you know, somebody's trying to post something in the chat that isn't friendly or is very insulting to you. And they can remove that from there. I know YouTube has that as well. I don't know what that looks like on Facebook or other platforms. I haven't seen it and I haven't studied it, which is something I need to do myself. But surrounding yourself with a team of people that can back you up and support you is huge. And that's something to really consider when you're getting into content creation and streaming. Not everyone is going to be a fan of you, and that's something you have to keep in mind, and they're going to try to bring you down. So my biggest tip is surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up and help you keep moving forward. And instead of, you know, taking everyone's comment to heart, which is kind of hard to do because on cyberbullying is a thing. It's been a thing for years, and we're going to come across that when it comes to content creation and streaming. So just being mindful of what people are saying and not letting it get to you, even though as it's hard, I've let it get to me a few times, and that's completely on me. Just surround yourself with people that support you and care about you, and that will help you keep moving forward and help you keep your chin up. That's my biggest thing that I've had to learn throughout this process of content creation and streaming.
That was clean. Thank you, Joe. I think a lot of people, you know, it's interesting because we got adults and young people on here. So we all have different experiences or know what Joe was talking about there. And I'm honestly more of a videographer than a game streamer. So I've just been learning all this stuff as we go. And just so you guys know, it comes down to resourcefulness. If you have a question, you can go to the websites and look up their facts. You can go to the websites and ask questions or for support. And I had no idea that Twitch had so many tools to help with online bullying and moderating. You could even pick your own moderators in your own friend groups to be able to help with that as well. So just be thinking about that when you're building your team, and just know that, like, it's not easy to do this on your own. It's really hard to check the comments while you're talking, while you're filming at the same time, right? So it's good to have people that you work with, and maybe you create partnerships where you help them and they help you, and everybody's growing together, kind of like we're doing at Game Changers. All right, so that was really great. Hopefully you all got a little something from
real
that.
quick. Don't be afraid to write down a list of rules for what you expect for your platform. Put a guideline in the beginning of the chat that says this won't be allowed, that won't be allowed. Once those lines get crossed, you kick them off, you block them. But make your intentions known, what it is that you expect from your audience, from the people that are going to be watching your content, that are going to be part of your streams and your games. Set what you want, put that so that everybody knows, and there's no one that's going to blur the line and think that they can get away with something, when right away, bang, you have a list of rules, what you do expect from people, what's allowed and what's not allowed. It's up to you to set your guidelines, to set your balance for what you're going to allow on your channel, on your content, and on social media.
And that's why
He's
Ku's
right,
wearing-
guys. So, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that's about curating your space. He's absolutely right. Just curate your space and create your boundaries from the beginning.
100%. We build community, and even when the world can't keep up, like, we can create a space that we can count on. We can create a space that's real to us, where we can be ourselves, and we don't got to worry about people jumping on. And that's one of the things I recommend about just gaming online too. We heard Noah mention that it's really toxic sometimes. And if you're a conscious young person or a conscious person in general, sometimes that hurts or it bothers us, or it just feels like that's the dominant voice, right? So what can we do to combat that or to change that? We can create our own community. We can create something different that others can kind of tune into, and they don't have to go through that same thing either. You know what I mean? And we're big on that, and we're going to be doing that. So we hope that, you know, you guys continue to stay in contact with us, and we can continue to work together and kind of feed off of each other and get ideas. And, you know, like I said, hopefully as we open up more, we'll have more in-person events and things you guys can do. Come join contests and things like that. But just so we keep moving along, we got a lot to cover. I would like to jump into a brief discussion and just kind of hear your guys' thoughts on a few things. So I'd like to know what makes you tick, what motivates or interests you enough that you can talk about it for hours, that you stay excited about learning. For me right now, it's content creation. And are you guys going in the chat? Because I was, feel free to unmic. I'd actually prefer it if possible, but if you're not comfortable, that's okay too. So I see guitar, I see video games. Awesome. And I'd imagine if you guys are already content creators, these things come into your content, right? It's not like they're different, they're separate. You guys are, if you're a musician and you're Twitch streaming, you saw Joe earlier, he does performances on his Twitch channel. And I see, who is that had their hand up just now? Feel free to unmute and join the conversation.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, my brother's in the background. Sorry about that. Well, anyways, what makes me tick, I would say, I draw anime like on cartoon, but by original characters. I'm working on a cartoon. Yeah, I do voice impressions also.
What?
Yes.
Awesome, man. Well, those are great skills and areas to focus on. I actually might have to circle back and get your email so that we can pick each other's brain a little bit and maybe support one another's channels, you know?
Yeah, I have channels, but yeah.
Oh, you're still building yours?
Yeah, I'm still building mine, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to see some other artists that are on our team later who use their channel for visual art as well. So that might be something you want to watch as you do time lapses and you do do animations as well. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. What about anyone else? What makes you tick? What motivates you? What do you think you could talk about for hours on end? Game changers too. Feel free to jump in. I'll check the chats while we're talking too. All good. If you signed in late, you'll be able to watch this back afterwards. We'll share out a link where everybody can see kind of what we covered earlier if you're just jumping on. I see music. Yeah, who said music? I'm having a hard time scrolling, but
me.
I saw somebody said music. Somebody said sports. Okay. Does anybody have ideas about how you're going to bring that into your content or your channel? What are you excited about? Are you excited about filming those things? Learning how to film? Check the chat. And it's okay if I'm just spitballing, you guys are thinking about these things. These are great questions to be thinking about if you're considering starting a channel or you have one already. All right, let's keep moving. I don't mind moving forward because we got a lot to cover, and hopefully these questions, when you play them back, are just things you could think about, because when we started getting together a month ago, this is where we started. We talked about what consoles we're on, what games we're playing, what other people are doing, what do we click on, or what makes us click play when we're searching for a video. Maybe I want to learn about a game, or I want to see about like some equipment or something like that. When I'm going to YouTube, what gets you to click play? I'd like to hear from at least 2 or 3 people if possible.
Usually the thumbnails.
The thumbnails, word. 100%. The thumbnails can be one of the main draws, right? I think I lean towards thumbnails as well. Who else? What draws your attention or gets you to actually pick a video or click play? Because there's so many options, right? There's so many videos on everything.
I always check out how many views that particular video has. I want to catch a video that's already hot.
Right? Right? There's a reason, right? Awesome. Anyone else? When you're searching on YouTube, what gets you to click play? Really think about it.
I like,
Oh yeah, jump in here, guys.
I like when content is done in a certain way and it looks really professional and well put together. How many of you guys experience a thumbnail and you check a video out and it says something crazy and wild in it, and then you watch the video and you're like, that's not even what they talked about. So that's something that I experienced too. But I'm always looking for videos and for content that are really well put together. I enjoy when the content creators are interacting, adding a little bit of their personalities, what their ideas are, what they enjoy. And I really enjoy when a video is made really well. The editing, it has little pictures that pop up, all of that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind when you're creating your content.
Hey, actually, that brings us to our next question. I appreciate that, Koo. I think that's really good because these questions are one and the same, but in some ways, but it's really good to get specific because what gets us to click play is something different than what gets us to subscribe or become like true fans or followers, right? So that's my next question. How about when you decide to subscribe to someone's channel? How did they hook you? What got you to subscribe? We heard from Koo just now. Those were some great examples. What gets you to subscribe to somebody, to buy in and to really like consider yourself a fan?
I always want to like get something from it that I can go and do later. Like I subscribe to Music Is Win because he's funny, number one, but number two, because I can always go practice my guitar for something he taught me later. So it's valuable.
Nice. Thank you. Absolutely. Do you guys have answers? I don't want to make anybody answer, but if you guys got answers, I'd love to hear.
It's a rock, paper, scissors, who goes first?
Jump in then, Liam.
Yeah, for this one, another one from my own personal experiences, a very good example I tend to do is, especially with gaming stuff, is if it's commentary or like more comedic styles of it, is if it really clicks with a lot of that stuff, such as when I first subscribed to the channel Game Grumps, it was because it just, all the hilarious, just moment, like they go off of each other's comedic momentum as they go through it. And, oh God. And there's just that kind of charm to it, really.
Yeah, they brought their personality, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, humor is huge.
Anyone else? Step up as much as you can so everyone can hear you.
But what I really like about someone is when they really like we both have the same personality, really. If same energy, if they really like follow you and their videos are like following what you're thinking, like it's just like perfect, kind of like matches.
Right. So we know when somebody speaks our language, when somebody is easy to follow for us. And for me, that's one of the biggest things. I'll watch a bunch of videos. I've been watching tons of videos on content creation, and out of like 50 different people I've watched, I've probably subscribed to like 4 or 5. You know what I mean? I'm pretty picky, but you learn what you're interested in, what pace they go. That keeps your attention, right? All kinds of different things. Does anybody else have any suggestions as far as that goes? What gets you to subscribe? What really gets you to buy into somebody's personality or their channel?
How they interact with their audience in streams and off streams as well, like through social media and stuff, like how they present themselves to their fans.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And it's getting more interactive these days on like Twitch and stuff, right? Oh, and I see there's some chats as well. Thank you, Koo. It looks like somebody, Milo says, I agree with Liam. Definitely the commentary, or you can see that they are being themselves. Word. That organic and authenticity is so important, right? People can tell when you're fronting. I may have a stage voice on right now, but I know, I know where my authenticity is, and I'm going to stay within that. You know what I mean? And I'm going to build trust with my audience and continue to like let them get to know me, not just through what I tell them or what I have planned, but through who I am and how I bring that to the stage, pretty much. You know what I mean? Let's see. Nope, that's not a text from you guys. Please, I can't really scroll on the chat, so if I miss anybody, please call it out or raise your hand or anything like that, please. All right. So yeah, I think that's really good. And then, does audio and video quality matter to you? You can just throw a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Is it a deal breaker though? Like, does audio and video quality really matter? Okay, how about audio? Let's start with audio. If it has bad audio, would you subscribe?
It really depends.
Yeah.
Like for example, some videos purposely make it like the audio sound bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into audio engineering and kind of learning that as well. And the cool thing is, and I'm going to keep revisiting this throughout the entire program, is how many of these tools are at your fingertips now for you to be able to learn easier or to start easier. There's programs on our phones that we could do video editing, or programs on our phones that we can get into like cutting a song up or bringing the volume up and down and learning how to fade in and fade out, those kind of things. But that comes over time, and that comes with the practice. I truly believe in practicing, or the act of doing, as a way of learning, right? Like I can listen all day long, but until I go step by step with my own camera, or I go step by step with what they're talking about, I have a hard time with it. What about video? For me, it's not a deal breaker always. It just depends on how interested I am in the content. But what about you guys? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Is video quality a deal breaker? So would you say they have to work a little harder for your support if their audio or video makes you kind of lean in, or gives you, doesn't really jump out at you if it's a boring background? I know that was a lot of questions in one. But yeah, I just want you guys to be thinking about these things. And let's see, I have a slide right here, I believe. Yeah, I guess the last question I have is, are there other deal breakers? Is there anything that gets you to be like, I'm not subscribing to this person, I'm unfollowing them even? Are there deal breakers for you? Because these are good things to know if you're presenting to your audience. Maybe they don't like how you speak about certain groups, or maybe it's something completely unrelated. Maybe they don't have a lot of expertise on the topic that they're talking about. Are there any instant deal breakers you can think of?
I got one.
All right.
Negativity. I don't go on YouTube or on social media to feel bad about something. I go there to feel good. So I enjoy content that's positive and makes me feel good. Anytime that there's negativity, or someone's kind of pushing their opinion or their agenda in a way that's negative, that's a deal breaker for me right from the gate.
Absolutely. And for me, it's kind of what I said. You know what I mean? It's that if you discriminate against any group or are not inclusive, and you create stereotypes or you perpetuate stereotypes, it's kind of a deal breaker for me, and it's not necessary in the type of videos I'm looking for. I don't want to hear that in my gaming or my tutorials or things like that. And while it sounds funny, it happens. There's a number of different people that I realize very quickly, like, they're not speaking my language. I'm not comfortable with how they're talking about this, or they're really into something that's like, I'm not comfortable with, right? So those are just things to think about, because when you're creating your community, you want to make it what you would be drawn to, what makes you feel comfortable, what empowers you, and brings you to life. So just some things to think about there. I'm going to jump forward a little bit with a few more tips, or actually, how about we break it up some? I want to teach you guys something while we have a little time. And I think that's one of the most important things I can give you all today, is just a quick tutorial on something. We have about 35 minutes left, so we'll take the next 20 maybe or 15 to kind of go over Canva. Real quick, you can either enter it in the chat or you could please throw your hand up. But how many of you already use Canva or have it downloaded on one of your devices? Awesome. I see Garrett. I see Scott. I highly recommend it, especially after today, that you download it because it's a free tool that's going to make your content creation pop and make it a lot easier to create things. I'm also big on like learning these trades. So I'm not saying don't go into Photoshop and learn classes and kind of build those skills and see where you can take it. But I am telling you that if you're trying to start a channel right now, you have the tools on your phone or at your fingertips that can help you make it look really great. Like you're already more professional and you have a lot more design background. You know, this wasn't possible just a few years ago when we were making, or just like 10 years ago, even when YouTubers were first starting. You really had to know video editing inside and out, photography. You had to understand like how to design things on Photoshop. I mean, just this
Rocky,
one. Yeah.
a couple people have asked what Canva is, if you could describe it to them.
Thank you, Courtney. That
Sure.
helps so much. So Canva is a free designing app. So basically, you can download it on any device and pull it up on your computer even. And basically, the free option has a ton of tools. You can make flyers, you can make thumbnails, you can make backgrounds, you can make you know, headers. You could even make you know, collages or posters or anything that you want to bring into it, right? All of it's possible within Canva, and all of it's possible for free. I have the Pro app, which is like 120 a year, which I know can be expensive, but since I'm going to be using it so much, it's a worthwhile investment to me, you know. And the Pro app gives you all kinds of tools, and I'll get to show you a couple today, but I don't want you to think you need the Pro app to get started. You can download it right now, and probably while we're talking, you can create something cool for your channel. You know what I mean? And I encourage that. I'd love to see something you guys come up with, and I don't mind at all if you guys are doing that at the same time. So please feel free to download Canva if you don't have it already. I'll also ask you guys, does anybody use a different app for designing their thumbnails and their content? I see I use paint.net.
Yep,
That was
there you go.
Hudson. Awesome. Photoshop, nice. So if you have skills with Photoshop, I mean, that's the way to go, but it's a journey. I've kind of steered clear as an editor for so long because I'm so focused on learning my trade that it's a whole nother thing that I would have to take on. And I'm ready to someday, but I've always kind of put it on the back burner. So I didn't always allow myself, you know what I mean? Like these kind of options. And now like I've started using Canva over the pandemic and over this last year. And it's just amazing how easy it makes it and how good it looks. Some of the content we're able to create. A lot of the stuff that you saw in that video that I opened up with was created in Canva. This slideshow that you're seeing in the background was created on Canva. I just wanted to really show you the possibilities. And as we get going, you'll see everything on our channel. We're all going to be using Canva together so that we have one program that we all know and that we're all working off of together as a group. But you can pick any app, whatever you're comfortable with, or any program. And I'm telling you, this could be something you're really good at or grow passionate about. And I swear, like, this is a great job if you're not thinking about it already. It costs a lot of money to design flyers and design logos and to put together some of these content creator tools, you know? So I think it's really valuable to be able to have that up your sleeve, to have that in your skills toolbox, you know what I mean? And it's gonna lend to every part of your creating. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm gonna pull up the Canva app. Let me stop sharing first. And then I'm gonna go, let's see, I'm gonna go into Canva. I think I'm gonna jump over to my iPad real quick. So let me bring that over here. You guys didn't know we're all in the same room right here. All right. So I'm going to pull up Photoshop and screen share. All right, I'm sorry, I'm not going to pull up Photoshop. I'm going to pull up Canva. All right, as you see, I was making these up all night, putting them in order, getting them how I wanted. Those kind of things are really easy to make. And that was a template, just so you all know. Can everybody still hear me clearly as I'm looking at my iPad? And then I'm gonna, am I sharing? Let's see, let me share screen real quick. There we go. Boom, can everybody see that? Great. So let me go to the home first, actually. Canva home looks like this, and it'll look different on your devices, whether you're on the phone or iPad or computer, but overall, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just gonna be formatted a little different. But you have immediate options in the home screen, where if you just wanna start with like a blank presentation or templates or something for your social media page, let me just show you real quick how cool this is. So everything that you could wanna make on social media, whether it's a TikTok, I'm trying to click on my computer and I'm supposed to be on my iPad. All right, so let me show you in social media real quick. Do you see all these options? You have Instagram post, Facebook post, a WhatsApp status, a Facebook cover, a TikTok video, right? And each of these has a whole list of templates underneath them. So you can recreate them, but you don't have to recreate them from scratch. You can make them say or do whatever you want. And some of them are animated, some of them are just photo based. But let me pull up a couple things real quick like this. Let's do a YouTube intro. You know, we're gonna definitely need intros for this. I think just so you know, I'm gonna do a header and we'll complete a header together while we're here. But first, I just wanted to show you a few of the different things that are already pre-built in Canva for you. All right, do you see all these options right here? Each of those is an intro already built. The video ones are the pro account. So if you want an intro that's all video, you will need a pro account, but they have actual stock video templates. A lot of the clips that you saw that weren't us were just videos that I found in Canva, which was really cool. Did you guys like that video I made? You know, so you're able to do a lot with a little, and I just wanted to show you guys that. And they work together. So you can create in Canva and then bring those images or those videos right into your editing software, right? So it can be your intro very easily and you can have more control on how to edit. Yeah, what's up, Garrett?
Did you know that you can make custom t-shirts with Canva? Because I have one made by Canva.
You do?
Yes.
Oh man, if you have it handy, I would love to see what it looks like.
Yeah, I have it. It's in my dirty clothes right now, but it's my YouTube shirt, my Garrett animation shirt.
That's
with
awesome.
my characters on it. Yeah.
So I haven't used that yet on Canva, but it keeps telling me that that's an option. So yeah, you can, not only can you design flyers and design t-shirts and stuff, but you can actually order them and have them printed and sent to you. It's just an amazing app when it's all encompassing, right? Thank you for that.
That's awesome. You designed that, Garrett, yourself?
Yes, I did.
That's amazing. I'm going to check that out. I have a lot of things I would love to design for t-shirts. That's great.
Yeah, maybe you want business cards or something like that too. They're all options on there.
Or like a Comic-Con, yeah.
Let me show you how easy it was to create what I created earlier. Do you guys remember I had the Game Changers image that kind of popped on the screen and it said creative space for gamers and content creators? Well, everything is fully functional and easy to move on here. So I just click it, and do you see that? I can move it wherever I want. I can make it bigger. And just so you guys know, if you've ever used Photoshop or some of these other apps, this is incredibly streamlined and will save so many hours of time. Sometimes just being able to have this kind of control and being able to have templates that are already pre-built that you can move around, you can change what they say. It's so simple. It's like creating a PowerPoint almost, right? Like we've all done PowerPoints at school. We've all had to create presentations. In the end, you guys are just going to get really good at creating presentations, right? Because you guys got to think about it in those terms. But it's not much harder than that. And I just wanted you guys to see that today, if nothing less, to how easy and at your fingertips this tool already is. And if you have ideas for your channel, man, they're probably swimming right now already with all the possibilities. Because look at these look great, don't they? These don't look like we put them together on Microsoft Word or kind of like threw them together or anything. These look like pre-built professional little video clips that we can use for anything, right? They even have things like this, where everything is already built for you to just plug in where to subscribe, who you are, whatever you want, or what the next episode is, right? And you can plug a picture in there. Let me show you how easy it is to plug a picture.
Garrett's wanting to know if it has a video editor option, Rocky.
So it's not a whole video editor in itself, but it creates short videos if you have the pro, account.
Okay.
So all the videos can be exported as MP4s or PNGs or PDFs or whatever you like, which again is a really great tool. And you have to learn these things on any programs, like how to make them do what you want. Everything's kind of built for the users and for the content creators on Canva. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And even like, just so you know, even like really big corporations are giving these tools to all of their employees so that they can create things on the fly and put things on social media. And it doesn't take 5 days to figure out with a graphic designer or having to get edits and pay for every edit. This really streamlines some of that for us. You know what I mean? And allows us to create what we envision right now. And sometimes it even gives me ideas that I wasn't thinking. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have put this image together myself, but I think it looks fantastic. I think it's going to be easy to build on, don't you? All right. And then I just want to show you guys the pro account. One of the options on here is to take photos. Oh, I keep trying to use my computer instead. Let's see. So right here, you saw some of these pictures earlier. I'm going to take one of mine. Do that, right? It doesn't look right yet, but check this out. A couple buttons, and all my people on Photoshop and all my people that have any experience with this knows what this means. This took us hours before, and it's part of the reason why I didn't dedicate more time to becoming a graphic designer, right? It's part of the reason why I couldn't dedicate more time, because each of these images, to get rid of the background, would have taken who knows how long to just cut it out and to put little dots all the way around, and then to finally get it right, and then to keep touching it up to make it look better, right? It took us hours. Am I right? So I want you guys to see how cool this is. I go to the effects, I click on the image, and then I click background remover. I've been talking about this since I got it, I swear. Do you see that?
Okay, you've sold me.
Do you see that?
This is blowing my mind.
It's mind blowing for real, especially if you're a video editor or a graphic designer. I kind of feel bad for all my graphic design homies, and I hope they can pivot like we've all had to pivot during this time. You know what I mean? Because they put a lot of time into mastering these skills to create a job for themselves or a career for themselves. That usually pays, it's really high, it's really expensive to get design done for you, a logo or even one of these graphics, right? But now you guys have that at your fingertips, and I just wanted to show that to you. I know not everybody can get a pro account, but if I can help you with your channel in any way with what I have, just stay in contact and let me know, and we'll work together in some way, right? It's a small enough group to where I can offer that, but I really do mean it when I say we're local. And we'd love to stay in contact with all the young content creators that are serious about this and see how we can work together and what we can do,
Matt just shared a couple things in the chat as well. Let's see what, that there are apps like Motion, Kaput, After Effects, and other things that that you can use for video. Okay, really fast for video editing stuff. If you want to do video editing on computer, After Effects is good. It's $21 a month. For phones, there are apps like Alight, Motion, CapCut, and they work pretty well. Those apps you can use for free, but some of them have watermarks unless you pay for it. So I just wanted to share that. And we are located in Auburn. Armisen asked where we're located, and a couple other shares really quick before we move on. Let's see. Oh, Hudson shared that, and I wanted to comment on this, that you're saving up for a new PC to start streaming and making better stuff. I totally get that. My son did the same thing. We do just want to encourage you, though, it is okay to start where you are, because with video editing and any of this stuff with content creation, you know, I do a lot of coaching in my line of work to help people get started with their social media presence for permanent makeup. And it's one of those things where you can spend as much or as little. You can spend $100 or $100,000 when it comes to content creation and the equipment, and it's constantly evolving. You know, don't let that keep you from creating content, is my point. And like Rocky said, we are here and we are local. So if you need help, reach out to us. And, you know, like I said, that's why we created a team, because, you know, Rocky is amazing at doing all the videography and he has so many more technical skills than I have. And my background was more in front of the camera and content creation. So together we are so much stronger than we would be apart. And so, you know, think about that and curating your space and getting your team together. And, you know, somebody might have the equipment you need and they might have upgraded and not even be using it. So, you know, we just want to encourage you to, you know, keep going and don't let it stop you from creating content.
Thank you, Courtney. And 100%, and I meant to circle back earlier because I remember when I brought Courtney on, I hadn't done a formal introduction. And I did just want to say, I didn't introduce any of the mentors, and I do feel like that's really important. You've gotten to hear from a lot of them today, and you'll get to see a video of a couple of them in just a second here. But I just wanted to honor and big up my team. It's just an amazing group of people that have come together, very passionate about supporting young people. And we each are content creators in our own rights in different ways. I'm a videographer, Ku's a musician, Joe's a musician and a Twitch streamer. We got multiple gamers. Dustin's a muralist and a YouTuber. You know what I mean? And Courtney's a makeup artist. She does so many different things and has been on like multiple sets, from casting to acting to being behind the camera on something. So really great resources. And just picture this when we're pulling our team together, how much we have already. You know what I mean? But more importantly, I just want to thank and big up each of them, because it's a dedication that we've had. We're just making time to make this happen. And the way that it's growing, I think this is going to be something we continue to do all year round. And we hope to stay connected with you guys. So I did want to create a thumbnail, but I also think that it's valuable to be able to get to the rest of the program. I think we have some really great content to share with you guys. Did everybody feel like they got a quick intro to Canva, and were some of you sold? Awesome. There are so many other tools I wish I could go through right now, but this is what we do when we get together. We kind of learn one skill and then we work on it, and we add it to our channel, and we kind of brainstorm how we're going to use it. I see some things in the chat. Let's see. Sold. Thank you. Awesome. I think I've met Rocky before because my grandma is, yep, definitely. We love your grandma, Christina. Yeah, and let's stay in touch. I want to know how you guys are using it, because every time I use it, I learn something new. And that's the other cool thing, is when we're working together, we're all going to find different ways to use these things, and we're going to be able to do more faster as a group, you know? So I'm going to stop sharing screen here.
It's not sponsored by Canva, I swear.
What'd she say? Oh, I'm not sponsored by Canva.
I swear, we just really, really like Canva.
I am somebody that's always wanted to do design, but it was out of my reach because of how busy I am and how much other things I'm focused on doing. Editing takes hours, right? So I'm excited to have tools that make these things better and easier for me, but I'm also excited to introduce you guys sooner to these, because it might unlock, or they might be game changers for you, straight up. You know what I mean? When we talk about game changers, that's what we mean. Some of these tools can be complete game changers for your channel. And it's as simple as just, you know, hearing about it and being able to look into it and then do it, you know? We learned how to do the cameras in a week and a half. some people in 1 week, right? And then we got out there and we filmed. And I think more was learned in the filming process and in doing than could have possibly been taught just sitting in the room together, right? So remember that when it comes to Canva or any of these things, it might be time consuming, but it might save you time later, and it might just make everything, you know, it might really add to your channel or add to your content. So let's jump forward. I don't know if I'm skipping anything necessarily, but I might have jumped to Canva before I did the spotlights of our artists on our team. And I just wanted to do that so that we made sure we had time for that, because that's something you guys can take home with you now and feel like you got out of this training. But yeah, I'm really excited to introduce, you've met DJJ, and then you saw little clips from Dustin at the beginning, but they're two of our team members and mentors to the young content creators. And I'm gonna start with DJJ and show you a little bit about what he's about, all right? Oh, let me pull it up before I do, so you're not watching my screen. There we go. And this is also where a team comes in handy, because right now we're not equipped to where other people can help me. But generally speaking, having somebody check the chat and having somebody play the videos and the slideshow is highly recommended. It's a way to make it look streamlined and save some of these lags and things that you guys are seeing during Zoom meetings. Those are things that you think about either in post-production or while you're planning and setting up, you know?
I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat for you.
I really appreciate it. You've come in clutch there. So let's see. Let me share my screen. Pull up DJJ.
Forget about that, I got better things to talk about, like standing up for all these kids that suffer from self-doubt, or by helping out a friend cause they might just be struggling. I'm an artist with a message, enough with the senseless mumbling. While you preach all about your money, women, and cars, I'll be impacting lives with all my powerful bars. I've saved the lives of many. What have you done lately? Bash on my music and said how much you hate me? That's adorable of you to show me that you really care. Now to all my lovers, put your hands in the air and went from side to side, from the front to the back, and join me on this mission. Well, I get back. I always get back to those that came to me. I am the one that's spreading positivity. Can't have negativity amongst all the tragedy. Love over hate, that's what it's gotta be.
All right. So you guys, that's DJJ Joseph Torres. And I'd like to have him come up and just share a little bit about his journey as a content creator and advice that he thinks will be helpful for you guys.
Sure. What up, guys? All right, so yeah, I'm just here to kind of share my experience of what it's like to be a streamer / content creator. So early on in my journey, starting off streaming, I always like fondled with the idea of it. And then what really got me into it was really deciding that I wanted to show what it was like to show the production side of what it was like to create music, because I didn't really see much of that going on Twitch. I saw a lot of people like playing instruments and singing cover songs on there, which is cool. That's awesome. That's entertainment and content to watch. But I wanted to show what it was like to really get down to the nitty-gritty and create music from scratch. And so that's what I started off doing for a little while. And I gained a little audience from it, not too much, nothing too crazy, not a lot of crazy numbers to share. But it worked for a certain audience on Twitch. And so that's how I gained a little bit of a following on there. And then I also saw that people wanted me to react to their own songs on my channel. And so I kind of switched gears from producing music live to reacting to other artists' songs and giving my 2 cents and letting them know what I thought was cool, what I could critique and stuff like that. Because at this point, I started streaming, I think like 3 years ago. So it was around like 2018-ish that I started streaming. And so I had been doing music for quite a while at that point. So I felt like I could give some good insight. And so that ended up growing the channel a little bit more. But after that kind of like started dying down and people weren't sending me their songs to react to, I quickly had to switch gears. So what did I ended up doing? I ended up starting to stream gameplay on the channel. And so that also worked. I streamed a whole bunch of different things. I ended up becoming one of those people that streamed Fortnite for a while. I streamed Minecraft. I streamed this and that. And so that kind of helped grow the channel even more and more. And so I enjoyed gaming on the channel a whole lot. And then speed forward to when the pandemic hit, right? And people were stuck at home. They couldn't go anywhere or do anything. And so I was like, all right, this is going to help draw more people to the channel, which it did, you know, because people were bored at home and they needed something to watch to help them stay entertained. And so some people found my channel through that. And then I started really thinking about how I can blend the two together, which was doing music and gaming, and merge those two worlds and those two audiences together. And so what ended up happening was I sat down with my moderators that I had for my channel. We started doing this thing where we started meeting up with each other weekly to do mod meetings and talk about what will work for the channel and won't work. The good thing is the people that I surround myself with are not people that are going to tell me yes to all of my ideas. They're definitely going to critique me and critique the ideas that I have and help me think about what's really going to work. And so we all came to the idea that I should start performing my own music live on my channel. So I came to the idea that I would schedule a certain day out of the month where I would perform music on my channel. And so that's what we ended up starting doing. And so I gained some momentum through that, started gaining some good viewers. I gained some followers out of the mix. People started subbing to the channel more. And I think merging the two worlds together was really what helped that. You know, people were there to watch me game, and then they learned, oh, this guy does music. How do we find your music? And so I would tell them where they can find my music. But then I also told them that I also perform my music live on my channel, which you can come watch at this certain date. And so that's kind of what my journey has been like as of late. Recently, I just moved to a new place and the internet situation is terrible. So I haven't been able to stream or create any content like I want to, but it's really actually kind of a blessing in disguise because I got to participate in Game Changers and really share my knowledge and my experience with these guys and help them get started and give them valuable information that they can use later down the line. And so the tools that I've learned is to have a great team behind you. And that's kind of what I'm sharing with these guys right now. Like Rocky was sharing, there's great free tools that you can use to create thumbnails and edit videos and such. And yeah, that's kind of what my journey has been like as a content creator and as a streamer. So that's my journey. And thank you guys for letting me share that with you today.
Give it up for DJJ. Yeah, man, we're living in the time, a digital age of social media. We're able to put our personality and what we're interested in on a platform, and people will watch it. People will consume it. Let your imagination be, you know, what it is that you experience, whatever it is that you're into, whether it's gaming, whether it's music, whether it's makeup tutorials, whatever it is, mix it up. Put your personality out there. Research, find resources that are free, find people around you in the community and friends that have ideas or that can help you film or help you edit. You know, go on social media and ask if anybody has any equipment that they're not using that they want to donate to your channel. Allow yourself and your personality and what you're about and what you're interested in to help skyrocket you into ideas so that you can create the content that you want to see. And chances are there are people out there that would like to experience that as well.
Man, I love it when he jumps on. We freestyle a lot and we're on stage a lot, usually before the pandemic. So it's great to see again, because we don't always get to see that through Zoom and through things like this, right? So love my team. Each of the team members here, we're all so close already. So it makes it easy for us to really just jump in and go get creating, right? I realize we are so close to the time and I have a 5-minute video to share and a whole bunch of tips. So I think what I'm going to do is share this video because it's so valuable from Dustin, who's a muralist and part of our team, who has a YouTube channel, and his son also games and has a YouTube channel. So I think it's going to be most valuable if I share that. And then if we go a minute or two after, I'll just scroll through all of the slides with just some tips and things that you guys can watch back later on the recording. Okay. All right, so here we go. You might have to turn your volumes up.
What's up, y'all? How's it? I'm Dust1. I'm an artist from Sacramento, California. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we can create a YouTube video with very simple, basic tools that anybody has. If you have a phone, you can create a YouTube channel. So let's get it. First of all, let me introduce myself. I apologize I can't be there in person, but the next best thing is to do a video. So here we are. I started out as an artist, as a graffiti artist. That was my very first thing that I got into, and then that led into me learning how to spray paint. And then I learned how to spray paint. From spray painting, I actually went into wanting to learn how to put my art onto t-shirts, and that led into me learning how to do graphic design and ultimately learning how to do screen printing. So I actually ran a screen printing business along with a
I can't hear
for 6 solid years. But over the course of 8 years, what I ended up doing was going.
Can everybody hear him? Okay, sorry, Courtney. I'm not sure why you're having trouble hearing, but everybody else is nodding yes. So you might have to turn it up too. It's a little quieter than the other video. But I'm just gonna keep it going from here because we're so limited on time.
To school and learning how to cut and sew, and then realizing that wasn't the path that I really wanted to go down, and then ended up doing more graphic design work, and then just kind of went and put my art to the side. Always painted a little bit here and there, and always drew, always kind of kept my creativity moving. But as of October of last year, I decided to quit my regular job and then do art full time. And so that's what I've been doing so far since October. I've been doing this full time, just creating. The main source of income is murals. That's a lot of the things that I do right now. But on top of those murals, I created a YouTube channel because I also found a passion for creating video. And I don't like to carry around tons of gadgets around. I don't like cameras. I don't like big bulky bags. I don't like any of that. I like to have stuff in my pockets and be able to go. And that's why I chose to just use the phone. I always have a phone on me. It's always ready to go. Right now, what I want to show you is some of my art and some of the stuff that I do, and I'll explain kind of as we go through it. I'll explain what the whole project was and what I think about it, and give you my opinion about it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So let's get to it. So on these videos, you're gonna see basically what this is just the phone that's on a tripod, and it's time-lapse, the hyperlapse setting on your phone, and that's all this is. And that's the majority of my videos are just me hyperlapse, me painting, or sometimes it'll just be regular video of me painting, or it will be if I have my GoPro with me, I'll mount my GoPro to my head and you can get a first-person point of view. Other than that, these are the only cameras that I use. And this is the main shot that I use, is mainly hyperlapse or point of view, and that's kind of what creates my videos. Once I'm finished with getting all my footage, I upload it into a free video editing software called LumaFusion. You can actually download it. It's for Mac users only, unfortunately, right now. But you can download it. It's free, and you can edit it on your iPad. They also have the paid version that obviously is gonna be, I think it's like $30, but obviously it's gonna be have more features. It's gonna be a better product. I did pay for it, and I don't have any issues or problems with it. I love it. It's what I use. I use it on my iPad, so I always have it with me, and just attach my external memory cards with a dongle, and I'm always good to go. I haven't had any issues with it. So then once I get it all up into LumaFusion actually has a share to YouTube button, and you can actually just straight up upload it straight from LumaFusion up to YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. I super appreciate it, and until next time, I'll catch you later.
Yes, yes. Oh, all right. Let me stop sharing the screen. Right, there we go. So it looks like we're at the 2:30 mark.
Hey, Rocky, before you do your tips and stuff, can I just make a little announcement for those that are still on? Yeah, before you go into your tips. So hi, everybody. I'm Serenity Madison. I'm with the Coalition for Auburn and Lincoln Youth. And I am also, if you attended the kickoff day, I'm your 2021 United States Disc Golf Champion. And on that note, yeah, thanks. Thank you to all who filled out the survey from the kickoff day event last week. I will be randomly choosing a winner from that, and they will get special stuff from one of my disc golf sponsors, Sublime Disc Dies. And then also we will be watching and picking someone to receive a $50 Amazon gift card at the end of this virtual retreat, at the end of all the sessions, who demonstrates leadership skills, listening, and interacting throughout the retreat sessions. So make sure you're engaged and have your video on. This is a great prize. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Serenity. And congratulations. You guys all know a star. Moving on to the world's next. Yes. So please send her your energy in that way. It's such a honor, or I don't even know what to say. It's so awesome that I have a friend I've known for so long that just recently restarted one of her dreams and has already come so far. I can't wait to see.
You're a game changer, Serenity.
Word.
I'm a game changer.
Absolutely.
She's totally
a
game changer. She
Thank you, everybody.
She's a badass.
Yeah. Awesome. So the other thing I wanted to share is, if you're watching right now, I hope you guys join next week as well. My wife, Natalie, and the Academy of Blah, the rest of the Auburn Hip Hop Congress crew are going to be hosting a workshop on how to make a difference in your community. And if you know us, if you know Auburn Hip Hop Congress, or you know Natalie, you know we're really about it. And we really do make an impact in our community and lift up youth voice. But we want to give you all the tools that are going to help you feel confident to be able to move into the world and into the community and make the change that you want to see. So that's going to be really exciting next week. And then there's a session the following week with Raza and J. Ross Pirelli teaching beat production and music. And then the following week after that, it's going to be a big kickoff, or a big kind of closing day. I think a big celebration, and we have somebody special coming to speak. Sorry, I don't have the list in front of me right now, but just know that there's 3 more weeks of virtual sessions, and I hope to see you guys there. But now I just want to leave it open if you guys have any questions or comments, since I'm going to be running through a few slides. Hopefully it's okay. I'm a few minutes over with everybody. But during this time, if you have any questions you would like to throw out there, or feedback, things that you took away from this workshop, please share. And I'm just going to throw some tips up on the screen that you guys can look back on later. All right. And it looks like I see some art halfway in the screen right there. You are an animator. Okay.
Rocky, I put the Hip Hop Congress email in the chat for them to reach out to us, but could you put the Game Changers email in there too, just so they can reach out to us if they want to?
You rock, Courtney. Yes, thank you. I had so much on my plate, I was almost going to forget that. But I just started an email so that we could start a new YouTube channel for Game Changers. And it's gamechangers530@gmail.com.
Put it in there.
All right, so please contact us, share your art, share some of your videos, have us subscribe, but also like, you know, stay in contact. We'll add you to like an update list. Go ahead, Garrett.
Oh, never mind. The email's in the chat, but yeah.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to share the screen right now. And again, it's open floor. So if anybody wants to share anything or ask any questions, it'd be a great time for that. No questions? Cool. Did everybody get something from today? Cool.
Really? None? No questions? I don't believe you guys.
But you guys all got something from today. That's the most important thing. And now we're connected too. So we got a community within the gaming community. And the more we grow this, the more we can know that there's a spot where we can go, that we're comfortable to be ourselves and that we can learn about content creation together. And I'm looking forward to like getting into gaming again and doing some contests, because I played Rocket League a couple times and I played some of these new console games only a little bit. But I am excited. I'm an old school gamer and I'm just really excited for that side of it. We're going to be doing some game nights and things like that as well. But yeah, let me pull up these slides. Let's see. I think I pulled up the wrong thing. Let's see if I can get it though.
Hey, Rocky, I think Hudson had a question. So maybe we could just invite him to unmute and ask his question.
Oh, he said he didn't have a question actually, after you asked him that.
Gotcha.
Awesome. And Canva is a game changer for Scott. I already know Scott because I've seen some of your work and you're already like right on it, but these things help unlock, they're game changers. They help unlock it and save us so much time and thought that we can really just focus on the content and focus on like what's important, right? And if you're like me or Scott, probably wearing 50 hats at one time, it's really helpful to be able to streamline some of these things. So I don't see any other questions. I'm gonna, I know I'm sharing the screen right now, but this isn't the one I wanted to pull up. So just give me one moment. I might just have to go through it this way, but I do have Google Slides open somewhere. Sorry, you guys, and thank you.
While he's working through that, guys, what was your favorite part of today? Just so we could have some feedback for next time.
Yeah,
what was the favorite thing that you learned about? And you can unmic too, feel free.
There, right here. Okay. I'll go through fast the ones we've seen already. But again, these are good questions to look back on and to ask yourself as you're creating your content. But really, I just want to let these play for at least 5 seconds each. And again, just like YouTube, you guys can play this back later and you guys will be able to stop on each slide. So we don't have to stop and discuss them right now. But I just wanted to leave you guys with some tips that we weren't able to fit into the program. All right. I heard that from every content creator. Just get started with what you have right now. Dustin's son's 9 years old, and Dustin helps him create his own gaming YouTube channel using his phone and just his PC. There are must-haves, and different people will tell you different things, but it's really good to think about each of these. We heard Joe talk about having a reliable connection. That can be so important and can be kind of a deal breaker, right? But we talked about a lot of these things as well. This one's so important because I was going to go over copyrights. I was going to go over a bunch of other stuff as well, or I had hoped to. But honestly, what it comes down to is becoming more resourceful. If you're serious about this and you want to be good at it or be successful, have a channel, take the time to research. Whether you're talking about that terms of service that you sign, sometimes we don't, I know that everybody doesn't read that all the way through. It's almost impossible. So really going through the facts, FAQs, of like Twitch website or of the YouTube Studio website. It's really good to know what your limitations are, what prevents you from being able to make money, what what the policies are. I didn't know that even if you're skating or doing certain things, you're not, if you're underage, you're not even allowed to have a t-shirt off, right? Or they'll take your content down and possibly take your channel down. Just one of those random little things, right? But be conscious of those things, and all the answers are there. And again, we're gonna be like doing more tutorials and workshops as we go. So you guys will be able to ask us or lean on us for certain things. But again, it really boils down to just being able to research. These are great skills to have anyways. And if you're serious about this, it's gonna make all the difference in the world just to do your due diligence, to take the time. Learn how things work. Give yourself the best chance you possibly can, right? Okay, I won't stop on all of them, but that one was just, it applies to everything, right? We heard about authenticity and how you can feel that through the screen. Ways that you can learn to be heard. There's tips and things you can learn. You can watch so many tutorials on these things. I've been. Yeah, focus on building our own community. We can't change the entire gaming culture, and maybe we can by creating a community within it. But for our own mental health, and so that we can stay moving forward and focused, I highly recommend building our own community. And we already have a good start here with just our Game Changer team and some of the people that are online with us. So I hope that we can all exchange information too. And don't forget, you're developing real skills. These are skills that I get paid good money for sometimes. These are skills that people build whole careers off of. You might find that you like design and you want to go further. You might find that you're good at editing, and this is something that I'm telling you is a really good career path, and you can work independently or for a company and make really good money at, right?
Yeah, I want to share something there, guys. It's a good way to sell it to your parents too, if they're iffy about it, is that these are skills that will translate to not just content creation. You guys can learn all this, and even if you decide you don't want to YouTube later, these skill sets will be valuable in almost any industry. Even if you're making lug nuts for tires, they have their own social media division and content creation division now. Every company does. So, just a little tip, if your parents are kind of on iffy about it, that's a good way to let them know, like, these are real marketable skills. I work in content creation, and I'm telling you, finding a good editor is the hardest thing. We are always looking for good editors. Always. You will always have job security. Sorry to interrupt, but I just thought that was an important thing to share with them.
No, that's great. And when you have a team, the person editing doesn't have to do everything else too. Everybody can kind of take on a role and delegate. Yep, Courtney kind of shared that we'll be posting more videos. I can't really scroll on that, but we'll just keep going. I guess I didn't like that one.
Yeah, YouTube's an industry. If you take it seriously and really put your time and energy in a productive way, you can make a living doing this. I know people who quit their jobs and spent 8 hours a day on their channels, and they're now making more than most of us make monthly at our jobs. So be yourself, be willing to work hard, put yourself out there, research and learn, and you might be the next YouTube sensation. Who knows?
For real, it's even though it's getting so flooded, it's also possible to do things that haven't been done. So think what's unique about you, what you can bring to the table that's different, or how you can put a program together. Just so many things to think about. And engaging with your community looks like a lot of things, but these are just a few tips that could help. We heard, I think it was Mason say that he likes how people engage, and that's what gets him to subscribe. So just think about that. For different people, you're going to get them different ways. And I can't stress this enough, the more we can create a safe and inclusive environment in the gaming community, the more we can offer that to other young gamers that are coming up. I don't think it's necessarily fair always that it's so toxic, or that there's so much that to be able to play a game you love, that you have to be in a room with certain people that are anywhere between disrespectful and worse. You know what I mean? So being able to create a community and be able to log on and have other people that you know in that world. I know each of us has a community too. So if we bring those communities together, imagine the possibilities of support, how we can work together, and how many subscribers we might get just doing that. You know what I mean? But it's so important that we create a safe space too. This is just a slide that I found online and I altered a little bit in Canva. But again, it's so good if you're not thinking about it to think about like your good lighting and your good background. You have to be really clear that there's not a bunch of things in the background that are distracting or that take away from your stream, right? Just little things that you can do. You guys saw Dustin's background. He really took time to like curate that behind him so it looked the way that he wanted and it looked clean and uncluttered, right? Those are just little tips. You know, we were going to go into design a little bit, but I just want you to think about how you can use backgrounds, how you can frame things to look the best they can. Just creating the right look and feel for your streams and your videos. And join us on our mission. We ain't just playing games, we game for change. You know, so whether that's changing the gaming community by providing something new and providing something cool that young people can tune into and grow with, that's one thing. But also, you know, we want to see that people on our team are able to focus on the things that are important to them, make a difference where they think it matters. So many people are in the gaming world. I forget how many million it was that log on daily. Do you know what I mean? But when you think about that, like it's important we get positive messages out to the world. It's important that we challenge certain narratives that are more common in the gaming world as well. So we game for change. That's what that means. All right, y'all. And I think that's it. I'm gonna look at the chat one more time. And I just wanna thank everybody for your attention, for tuning in, for your input. And I hope you guys stay connected. And I hope you each feel like you got something out of today. And I look forward to connecting on the virtual world and in person as the Game Changers or as Auburn Hip Hop Congress or just as content creators. Let's see, I see a question I can't read. What are you all most interested to learn about? I don't know if I'm at the beginning or not. Oh, Shelly said, yep. Absolutely. So anyways, really appreciate everybody being willing to go over with us a little bit. This will be available online later, I believe on the Kelly YouTube or on our social media. So please feel free to watch it and play back any of the parts that you wanted to see again. But yeah, again, our website is gamechangers530@gmail.com. Even if you just send me your email to let me know your email and so that we stay connected, that'd be great. All right. All right, y'all. So hopefully I'll see you next week at the next workshop. But it's been a really great time and appreciate everybody for being here and all of you guys' input. All right, y'all.
Bye.
And thank you.
Thank you all.